Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. All people, long live. Start with a billion god level halo. Chapter 21. Looking at the seductive appearance of this succubus girl, Chen Yang really couldn't hold back. This succubus and elves are indeed different in character. But, regardless of appearance or figure, these two women are top-notch, but their styles are not the same. Chen Yang shook his head. Come on, go home first. He glanced at his attribute panel. After rising to level 10 and putting on most of the gold level equipment on his body, his three attributes of strength, constitution and agility all reached 140 to 150 points. As for spiritual attributes, because of his transfer to the law system summoner, he has now reached 220 points. Such a high attribute, even if he fell from a 10-story building, he would be fine. Take off. Follow his thoughts. The power of Feng surrounds him, and takes him from the woods in this secret area to stealth and fly up. And, since he also activated the 10 times speed halo of power of the wind, his flying speed was very fast. Even, it has already reached the level of the middle-aged Uncle Sun Xingfa, who was over 90 levels before. And behind him, Sylvie and Isabella, who were also in a state of invisibility, also followed by flying in admiration. In fact, as a succubus, Isabella can fly by herself. But, Chen Yang's hidden and tenfold acceleration was something she had never experienced before. This blazing speed, make her heart beat faster. Looking at the human man flying in front, the succubus girl likes it more and more. As for Sylvie, it is very vigilant to keep some distance from the succubus girl, and there is a faint appearance of protecting Chen Yang. For this, Isabella didn't care either. She had heard too much about this kind of prejudice against succubus. Only time will tell. It was after Chen Yang came out of the silver level copy with the two girls. Originally next to the dungeon, the team of transferees who were squatting and guarding watched the entrance of the dungeon disappear, all showing incredible expressions. What happened? The copy disappeared. That guy only went in for 10 minutes, right? It's impossible to pass the customs, right? But if the dungeon hadn't been cleared, how could the dungeon entrance disappear? Unless the time limit for the dungeon is up, and the monsters entrenched in it have flooded into reality, then the entrance may disappear. This dungeon was only refreshed during the day, and the time limit is 3 days. How could it be gone now? Not to mention that I haven't seen a single monster or something. The four transferees looked at each other. They discussed and came to an obvious conclusion. This silver level copy, which is very difficult for them. It was really cleared in just 10 minutes or so. And, the other party is still a single brush. It's a lone wolf. This result makes them unbelievable one by one. By the way, today seems to be the transfer day of number 1 high school, right? This guy, isn't this a genius who just transferred from No. 1 high school? Someone couldn't help but come up with a guess. The other people's faces changed slightly. But thinking about it carefully, it seems unlikely. After all, for an ordinary job transfer person, it would take at least 1 week to 2 weeks to upgrade from level 1 to level 10, and the average time is about 10 days. I just changed careers today, how can I only get a level 8 silver dungeon? Anyway, this copy is gone. They can only leave disappointed. Result, when they were about to leave the secret area, they heard a lot of newcomers and transferees talking along the way. First high school. It is indeed a terrifying genius, a single bronze level dungeon, and each dungeon only takes 10 minutes. After hearing the news, the faces of these people changed, and finally they told the situation on their side. There was a lone wolf, and in just 10 minutes, he singled out a level 8 silver dungeon. If you guessed correctly, the genius that I discussed with others, the one who made the bronze copy alone, is probably the same person. And similar news. 1 past 10, 10 past 100. Soon, it's not just the number 1 high school where Chen Yang is. There are many other schools, and even some strong people in major forces in Zhongnan City have learned about this. Among them, there is naturally the credit of the middle-aged Uncle Sun Xingfa. Such a big thing. Sun Xingfa almost immediately informed the faction of the situation, Tianqi Building. Tianqi Building belongs to one of the 4 official forces in Zhongnan City. Among them, the strong are like clouds, and Sun Xingfa serves as a deacon. And such a terrifying lone wolf genius was born. Suddenly, there was an uproar in the entire Zhongnan city. Certainly, what actions the major forces will take has nothing to do with Chen Yang. Anyway, he will not deal with these forces for the time being. If you want to sell equipment, it's best to find an official mall. Go to Hongwu Shopping Mall. Chen Yang chose a shopping mall at random. But before that, he took Sylvie and Isabella back to his home. He took the two daughters and flew through the sky stealthily, overlooking the entire Zhongnan city all the way. Soon, he went home from the balcony. You guys rest first, I'll go out. I'll bring you something to eat later. What do you want to eat? Chen Yang went out to sell equipment, not to fight monsters, so he was too lazy to bring the two girls, so he simply let them rest at home. Can I eat rabbits? The elf princess spoke first, blushing a little. Quote? Chen Yang wondered. Don't you elves all love nature? You actually want to eat rabbits? That's right, but rabbits are really delicious. Sylvie's pointed ears were flushed. Fine, Chen Yang had no choice but to nod, then looked at Isabella. How about you? As soon as the succubus girl came back, she lay on Chen Yang's bed, her long legs stretched out, straight and slender, making her heart beat faster. Hearing Chen Yang's question, he pursed his lips and chuckled. Isabella wants to drink milk. Is your milk serious milk? Chen Yang complained. It depends on whether the milk you gave me is serious. Isabella blinked. Quote? Chen Yang was defeated. This succubus is worthy of being a succubus, always feel that every word is sultry. This makes Chen Yang a little unstoppable. It seems that I can't play hooligans with this succubus girl in the future. Because she will be more rascal than you. You two stay at home obediently, don't quarrel, let alone fight. I go first. Chen Yang turned around. The three auras turned on and flew out directly from the balcony. Chen Yang turned on the aura of Shenyan and rode against the wind at 10 times the speed. Although it is said that flying is prohibited in urban streets and public places in Zhongnan City. But Chen Yang is invisible and no one can see it anyway. In other words, he can do whatever he wants in heaven. It doesn't feel right. Looking at the streets and communities below, as well as various shopping malls and shops, Chen Yang was quite emotional. It has been 18 years since I came to this world, and I can finally be a person. Hongwu Shopping Mall. It belongs to the place where Chen Yang rents, and is relatively close to a shopping mall that sells equipment, skill books, as well as various job transfer tools. Different from other daily shopping malls. Basically, the people who come here are all combat class transferees with decent talent. Chen Yang flew to a nearby unmonitored unmanned alley and walked out quietly without anyone noticing him. See it from a distance. Outside the entrance of Hongwu Shopping Mall, a group of people set up stalls to buy and sell, which was very lively. Level 25 gold quality warrior shield, high defense and high block, only sells for 98,000, direct transaction, eliminating the middleman fee. Selling a large number of handmade silver scale breastplates, handcrafted by beautiful casters, 5,000 pieces, free shipping. Receive the mage skill book. As long as it is above the gold level, you can be satisfied with the price. Girls use gold mace level 20 platinum equipment, excellent hand feel, high range and high attack speed, demand price, you can't bring it back if you don't bring it. Speak up. This is not the first time Chen Yang has passed by. Only, what he didn't expect was that now every piece of equipment is sold in such a volume. Also for girls. As a result, he glanced over. I found out that the person selling the equipment was actually a rough-looking strong man. Shook his head. He walked through the crowd and walked towards the Hongwu Shopping Mall. After all, the equipment and skill books he wants to sell are too large, and no one outside can eat them. Just as he stepped into the gate of the mall, a familiar voice suddenly came from behind him. Ha, Chen Yang. A clear and pleasant female voice stopped him. Chen Yang looked back. I saw a beautiful woman in casual clothes, with long black hair that was soft against her chest, and black-rimmed glasses. It was his head teacher, Lu Yuyao. She was looking at Chen Yang with a bit of surprise, pursed her lips and smiled and walked over. What a coincidence. I think you just left after changing jobs. Now you are here to buy equipment, are you ready to grow? Speaking of which, the head teacher is very young. It should look like 21 too. It is said that the profession is elemental swordsman. This year, it has been over 60 levels. When he first changed his profession, he also belonged to the genius school Flower. On weekdays, she has always taken good care of Chen Yang. Certainly, Chen Yang doesn't know now, is this because he is handsome or because of his girlfriend's friend physique? Seeing acquaintances, Chen Yang was also a little surprised. After thinking about it, he said, I'll sell some equipment. I have a friend who doesn't have time, and asked me to come over and help sell it. One of your friends. Lu Yuyao naturally kept pace with the times. Regarding Chen Yang's remarks, I would like to ask, is this friend you are talking about yourself? Certainly, she didn't know Chen Yang well enough to joke around. She couldn't say it either. If you want to sell something, I happen to know the boss. Why don't you go up to find Uncle Hong with me? Lu Yuyao took advantage of the situation to invite. Also, Chen Yang thought about it for a while and nodded in agreement. The equipment and skill books he wants to sell are too large, and he was worried about being slaughtered. Then, Lu Yuyao walked up and took him upstairs in the shopping mall. While walking, I asked a few questions about whether he needed help after he changed jobs, whether he found teammates, etc. To avoid trouble, Chen Yang directly said that he already has a team. And it's growing well. Then the teacher can rest assured. Lu Yuyao pursed her lips and smiled, she seemed relieved indeed. After all, as a summoner, Chen Yang wants to train his subordinates, and the cost is very high. He usually eats official subsidies. If he can't find a suitable team, his growth rate will be very slow. Soon, the two went up to the 5th floor of the mall, which is already an area where tourists stop. Along the way, Chen Yang smelled the fragrance coming from his side and was quite emotional. Originally, this beautiful head teacher was definitely a goddess-level existence in the eyes of all the students. But now, Chen Yang found, after seeing the beautiful elves and succubus in the world, Lu Yuyao doesn't seem to be as amazing as before. Certainly, Lu Yuyao's beauty is an intellectual beauty, and it has a completely different temperament from that of a girl from another world, so it is not easy to compare them together. After reaching the 5th floor, Lu Yuyao directly knocked on an office door. Uncle Hong, I'm here. Oh, miss, you are finally here. I have gathered a set of fire resistance equipment that you asked me to find. A burly middle-aged man with a height of 2 meters opened the office door. How about it, going to fight that secret realm tonight? Between the words, he looked quite respectful to Lu Yuyao. But, as soon as he opened the door, he saw Chen Yang. Then he looked at Lu Yuyao again. The burly middle-aged man showed a surprised expression. Miss, this little brother is so handsome, is this the little boyfriend you're looking for? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Chen Yang was a little confused. He never imagined that the owner of this Hongwu shopping mall was a burly man 2 meters tall. Even more speechless, this guy came up to guess his relationship with Lu Yuyao. This person, it's a little unusual, at this time. Even Lu Yuyao was silent for a moment, before sighing and saying, Uncle Hong, he is my student. Can you stop guessing about other people's relationships? Oh, it's old, sorry. The burly middle-aged man smiled shyly, scratching his head naively. I just happened to meet him when I entered the door, so I brought him up. He wants to sell equipment, you can help him estimate the price. Lu Yuyao continued. That's fine. Hong Wuliang laughed and said cheerfully. Since he is a student of the eldest lady, he is his own. Whatever equipment you want to sell, just give it to me, I will be fooled. Chen Yang nodded. Then, he lifted the left sleeve a little, revealing a very delicate women's bracelet hanging on his wrist. Question mark. Both Lu Yuyao and Hong Wuliang were a little surprised. Is this bracelet what Chen Yang is selling? It looks like. It's not like ordinary equipment. In fact, this bracelet is the storage tool that the elf princess comes with. The hundreds of pieces of equipment and skill books that Chen Yang hit today are stored in it. To know, similar to this storage tool, whether it is a ring or a necklace, the price is extremely high. Anyway, the current Chen Yang can't afford one of this level. As Sylvie is an elf princess, her storage bracelet is naturally the highest grade, with a storage space of more than 1,000 cubic meters. This thing, if you put it on Blue Star to sell it, it can sell at least several billions. However, Chen Yang naturally wouldn't sell the elf girl's stuff, but just used it to carry the equipment he got today. Then, under the sight of Lu Yuyao and Hong Wuliang, he silently took out the equipment and skill books from the princess bracelet, one by one, and placed them on the floor of the room. At the beginning, neither Lu Yuyao nor Hong Wuliang realized the seriousness of the matter. Result: 10 pieces, 50 pieces, 100 pieces. Until the equipment and skill books on the floor were piled up like a hill, Chen Yang didn't even intend to stop. This scene, both Lu Yuyao and Hong Wuliang were dumbfounded. What's the situation? Didn't this student just change jobs today? Why is there so much equipment for sale? Even if the primary secret realm area is all included, it is impossible to explode so many things. Moreover, there are even gold-level equipment among them. This is too outrageous, right? Just when the two were shocked, Chen Yang's actions are still going on. 200 pieces. 300 pieces. 400 pieces. By this time, the equipment on the ground had already piled up higher than people. Lu Yuyao and Hong Wuliang were completely silenced at this moment. Rao is that they have experienced many storms. It is also knowledgeable. But this scene, the truth is beyond their comprehension. I thought that the friend Chen Yang was talking about was himself. It seems that it can't be him at all. Besides, things came out of that women's bracelet. His friend is a girl. Seeing this scene, Lu Yuyao couldn't help but guess. The other party is not only a girl, still a very rich girl in the family. Judging from the style of the bracelet, the other party is not very old. Could it be the eldest lady of some big family? All right. When Chen Yang finished taking the things in the chain, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. It's more tiring to get some equipment than to brush a copy, it's too difficult. It is also fortunate that Sylvie, as an elf princess, has such a good storage bracelet, otherwise it would be too troublesome. It's really, a hero comes out of a boy. The burly Hong Wuliang looked at the pile of equipment on the ground. After a moment of silence, he couldn't help but ask, "You are the student of the eldest lady. Did you just change jobs today? Just switched jobs today? Just take out so much equipment? What special profession did this kid turn into? He's selling equipment for a friend." Lu Yuyao reminded at the right time. Oh. Hong Wuliang immediately laughed to ease the embarrassment, and then said, "I wanted to give you an estimate myself, but you have too many things. I can only call a special person to take charge. Don't worry, in terms of valuation, I asked them to give you 10%. Thank you, boss." Chen Yang nodded, then thought about it and said, "There should be this amount of equipment every day in the future, and the quality and level will be higher. Can you eat it?" Oh, Hong Wuliang was a little surprised when he heard this. He looked at Chen Yang carefully and nodded slowly. "That's natural, as long as you have it, I can accept it. Even if your supply is stable, we can also establish long-term cooperation and give you a higher purchase price." "No problem, the supply must be stable." Chen Yang nodded. Lu Yuyao, the beautiful head teacher on the side, now looks at Chen Yang with a hint of curiosity. She guessed, Chen Yang is probably on a date with the eldest lady of a certain big family. Moreover, the opponent is not only Bai Fumei, but also has extremely terrifying talents, forming a top-class transfer team. Otherwise, it is impossible to produce so many equipment and skill books at one time. Guessing about Lu Yuyao, Chen Yang is naturally unclear. Anyway, he was more afraid of trouble, so he just said that he would sell it for a friend. Soon, Hong Wuliang called a few equipment appraisers and came over to help with the appraisal. During the period, Chen Yang strolled around the mall casually, and after about half an hour, the other party's estimate came out. A total of 6.797 million magic crystals. This number is even higher than Chen Yang's own estimate. There should be a 10% bonus that Hong Wuliang said is in it. In this regard, Chen Yang is not polite. Anyway, the two sides will cooperate for a long time in the future, and they will take all the bills. Categorize things, mark the price, and put them in the novice equipment area on the first floor. Looking at the equipment and skill books all over the ground, Hong Wuliang was refreshed. What is the best thing to sell in this mall? There is no doubt that this kind of quality novice equipment, whiteboard equipment, anyone can get it, it's basically difficult to sell. But even if it's just bronze level equipment, there is already a market. Because there are many class transferees who are not very talented, they can't get bronze level equipment by themselves. You can only swipe the lowest black iron dungeon all the time. After you have enough exorcism value and saved enough money, you can buy some bronze equipment and wear it so as to enter the bronze dungeon. The same is true for silver level and gold level equipment, but the price will be several times higher, even dozens of times. A piece of gold equipment below level 10. As long as the attributes are not particularly spicy chicken, at least 30,000 to 40,000 yuan can be sold. Brother Chen, let's add a friend. If we have the goods in the future, you can arrange for me at any time, haha. Hong Wuliang laughed. Chen Yang nodded, turned on his phone and added his friend. Then Mr. Liu, Boss Hong, talk to you, I'll go first. He saw that the two had something to talk about, so he said goodbye and left. It should be about the strategy plan of playing dungeons. Chen Yang was naturally too lazy to listen to this. Bye-bye. Lu Yuyao shook her hand with him and said with a smile, if you encounter any problems, you can come to me at any time. It is good. Chen Yang nodded and turned to leave. Watching the back of him leave, Hong Wuliang said meaningfully, this young man is not easy. I'm afraid he has made some amazing people. In fact, about today, number 1 high school has awakened a super genius who is suspected to be SSS level, and can stealth single-play bronze dungeons or even silver dungeons. Lu Yuyao and Hong Wuliang both learned of this news. But they didn't connect this matter with Chen Yang at all. Because, even if the super genius had swiped a lot of bronze and silver dungeons today, it would be impossible to produce so much equipment. And low-level gold equipment is not so easy to obtain. At least, in the low-level secret area of Zhongnan City in the past 2 days, no gold-level dungeons have been refreshed. So, these golden equipments are basically unlikely to be produced locally in Zhongnan City. Soon, Chen Yang walked out of the door of Hongwu Shopping Mall. No one could have imagined. He was a pauper when he came in. When the result came out, there was already a huge sum of nearly 7 million magic crystals. It's time to consider buying a more spacious house. Otherwise, more and more girls will be summoned, and one bed will not be able to sleep. Chen Yang thought to himself. In this era, the population is not much smaller than the world before he crossed. Although the danger has greatly increased, the lifespan of many high-level powerhouses has also become much longer than before. Overall, the world's total population is still tens of billions. So, no matter where you are, houses are still expensive. This is less than 7 million magic crystals, which looks quite a lot, but it is still not enough to buy a high-end villa. This made Chen Yang thinking. Should I wait, or just buy it? Sudden. Stop. You, yes, it's you. Your boy is Chen Yang, right? A somewhat condescending voice came from in front of him. Chen Yang raised his head to take a look. Then I saw a group of 4 transferees approaching, headed by a young man, wearing a set of luxurious mage equipment, holding a staff, and his expression was quite arrogant. Quote. Chen Yang looked at each other strangely. Who is this guy? I heard that today, you rejected Su Qimeng. The young mage looked at Chen Yang lightly. What's the matter with you? Chen Yang glanced at him. Looks like you don't know me. The young man frowned. Why should I meet you? Chen Yang is even stranger. He can be considered to realize that the transfer has been smooth sailing until now, and this trouble has finally come to the door. Certainly, he was not at all afraid of these guys in front of him. At this moment, although he still doesn't know what the other party wants to do, Chen Yang has already opened his own god-level aura list. Just right, there are a lot of weird auras that Chen Yang hasn't tried yet. Since someone took the initiative to come up, then Chen Yang doesn't mind trying out some of his halo effects. It must be very interesting. At this time, facing Chen Yang's puzzled look, Guan Neiliang was a little upset. After all, he is also among the people who have been transferred today, a very small number of S-rank professionals, Master Huiyan. I thought that all the students in the school would have heard of his name. Result, the Chen Yang in front of him actually said he didn't know him. How can this be tolerated? Boy, this is Guan Neiliang, the S-level talent Huiyan mage. I will call you big brother in the future, do you hear me? A younger brother spoke from behind. To make Guan Naliang very comfortable, it is cool to have a younger brother to do things. If he were to say this himself, he would have no inner taste, and he would appear to be a middle schooler. Unexpectedly, call me big brother when we meet. Chen Yang waved his hand and said, that's too embarrassing, don't be so polite. Question mark question mark question mark. A group of people were dumbfounded. Does this guy know that he is in trouble? How dare you take advantage of it? You can't speak if you don't know. Guan Naliang gave him a cold look. Since you are Chen Yang, then it's easier to handle. Today you rejected my goddess and made her unhappy. Then, as her #1 fan, I will naturally help her teach you a lesson and make her happy. As soon as the words came out, the 3 transferees behind him stood up separately, surrounded Chen Yang, and looked bad. Well, it should be. Chen Yang didn't care about these guys, he was still looking for his halo, and asked casually, what are you going to do? Question mark. Guan Naliang did not expect that Chen Yang could be so calm. But he was too lazy to think about it. He said lightly, of course, I'll beat you up to make you understand your senses. In fact, he was a little more cautious. Su Qimeng has a good attitude towards Chen Yang, but she ignores Guan Naliang. This made him very uncomfortable. Isn't it because Chen Yang is so handsome? Guan Naliang thought to himself, if he beat Chen Yang up and made him look bad, can Su Qimeng see him in the future? At this time, many job transferers who were selling equipment around also saw the situation here. And no one came forward to persuade. After all, whoever dares to make trouble in this public place must have some background behind him, and no one wants to cause trouble. It's just a pity that a handsome guy was surrounded by people. In the field, many people looked at Chen Yang and felt a little pity. But, just when everyone thought that Chen Yang was going to be unlucky, Chen Yang selected a god-level aura and activated it on the spot. Bald as it comes god-level aura, after it is turned on, the surrounding targets that you regard as hostile will fall off and no longer grow. Chen Yang is also very helpless that such a halo exists in his halo list. But have to say, in this case, is it good to use? Then, one counts as one, that Guan Naliang and his 3 teammates are all listed as hostile targets by Chen Yang. Next moment, before they could make a move, they suddenly realized that something was wrong. Hey, wait, why did you lose your hair in the sky? Fart, that's your own hair falling out, ha ha ha, I'm dying of laughter, stop casting spells. I'm super, laughing at your head, you've lost your own hair. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. My hair, ... The 4 Guan Naliang finally realized the seriousness of the situation. They were horrified. Reach out and touch your head. When I touched it, I immediately felt the hair on my hand, and all these hairs fell out of the roots. Immediately, the hair fluttered in the field, and it was quite spectacular for a while. At this moment, Chen Yang helped them again and opened the halo of god-level environment, the wind of nature. Ambient aura, as the name suggests, can change the surrounding environment to a certain extent. This natural wind halo can generate natural wind around Chen Yang, and he can adjust the range and size of the wind by himself. Then, suddenly there was a gust of wind, blowing over Guan Naliang's heads. The hair they fell off was rolled up into the sky, getting further and further away. My hair, my hair. The 4 youths stretched out their hands and held their heads one by one, looking at the flying hair without tears. But the wind is too big. They can't stop the shed hair from being blown away by the wind. Gradually, one by one, shining bald heads appeared in front of everyone around. So far, Guan Naliang's mentality completely collapsed. The faces of the 4 of them became extremely ugly, but they looked very happy with their bald heads. Chen Yang, what have you done? Dare to tease us like this, you don't want to live anymore. Faced with questions from the 4, Chen Yang spread his hands and said helplessly, I don't know anything. You are bald, what does it have to do with me? He looks so innocent, but, as he spoke, he activated another god-level aura. If it makes people bald, it can also leave some decent conversations. This time, this halo is really a bit inappropriate. In fact, if Guan Naliang just stopped, Chen Yang wouldn't have done so much. But, seeing that this group of people are bald, they still want to do it. Then Chen Yang can only say sorry. God level halo. 1,000 miles away, open. As the name suggests. The effect of this halo is to make the targets marked as enemies by Chen Yang in the range, all of them evacuated. And this time, those who were marked as enemies by Chen Yang were Guan Neiliang and the others. So, the 4 people who were just about to attack Chen Yang suddenly changed their expressions. Wait, there's something wrong with my stomach. You hit first, I'll come when I go. What? Don't run, my stomach is not quite right. It wouldn't be so coincidental, would it? You guys also ate Muraz. Worth vomited, it's not good, let's go. The 4 people, originally fierce, wanted to do it. He suddenly covered his stomach with a worried look on his face, turned around and ran, trying to find a public toilet. Result, just turned and ran 2 steps. The 4 of them didn't hold back almost at the same time. The picture is too real to describe. All in all, this moment, the job transferers who set up stalls around to sell equipment and skill books all changed their faces and closed their stalls to stay away. There were passing ladies and sisters on the street, covering their mouths and noses one by one and passing by quickly. There are also many people who watch the fun and don't think it's a big deal, and take pictures with their mobile phones. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. This moment, Guan Neiliang and the 4 even wanted to die. Oh my god, what exactly is going on? Why did the 4 of them have stomachache almost at the same time, and they didn't hold back at the same time? In public, completely faceless, in particular. So many people are still clicking and clicking with their mobile phones. It is conceivable that this scene will soon spread all over the internet. It's miserable. The initiator, Chen Yang, acted like an innocent passerby, retreating again and again. At this time, Guan Neiliang's face became extremely pale, and he collapsed to the ground. With his shiny bald head, it became the most unacceptable appearance in his life. He looks around. Every passerby, every job transferee, all looked at him with disgust. It's over. It's all over. It's over. This time, not to mention the pursuit of Su Qimeng. Even a random girl might not be able to fall in love with him. Chen Yang, I am going to kill you. At this time, Guan Neiliang especially needed an object to vent. Obviously, the object he chose to vent is Chen Yang. But, Chen Yang said innocently, no, don't touch porcelain, okay? If you're bald, you can blame me, and if you eat the wrong thing, you can blame me. I didn't even touch you. His words got the approval of everyone around. Originally, no one stood up to help Chen Yang, partly because they didn't want to cause trouble, and partly because they thought it was normal for a newcomer to change jobs. But now, those 4 boys can't bully others, and it's okay if they become clowns themselves. You still want to vent your anger with Chen Yang. No one can watch this. To know, there are not only newcomers and transferees who sell equipment here, but also many powerhouses of 40 or 50 levels, or even higher levels. The most important is, there was so much trouble here. Hong Wuliang and Lu Yuyao, who were talking about things upstairs, flew down from the upstairs together. What happened? Can someone make trouble at the entrance of my Hongwu shopping mall? A burly and strong man with a height of 2 meters, Hong Wuliang, fell from the sky and stepped on the ground with 1 foot, and the audience seemed to shake. Chen Yang, did someone trouble you? Lu Yuyao floated to Chen Yang's side, holding a frost-long sword in her hand. But, when she and Hong Wuliang saw where Guan Neiliang and the others were, her expressions became extremely wonderful. These 4 guys, what are you doing? Lu, teacher. Guan Neiliang was also the number 1 high school student who changed jobs today, so he naturally recognized Lu Yuyao. Seeing Lu Yuyao stop in front of Chen Yang, Guan Neiliang's face sank. He knew that it was impossible for him to do anything to Chen Yang. But how to solve this today? If so go, Guan Neiliang has become the whole city. No, he is probably the laughingstock of the whole country. I can't keep my head up for the rest of my life. Then, Guan Neiliang took out his mobile phone angrily and dialed a number. Dad. Someone is bullying me at the door of Hongwu shopping mall. Watching this scene, Chen Yang was a little helpless. Really, after all, I still played the small one, do you want to play the old one? Okay, you can call me Dad, right? Today your father came to go bald. Chen Yang wasn't worried at all. In this era of job transfer, although there are dangers everywhere, in the city, no one dares to openly disrupt the order. No matter how it is outside. But in a city inhabited by human beings, peace must be guaranteed. This is the rule set by the top bosses above. Otherwise, the strong will be in chaos in the city. With one skill, hundreds of thousands of people die, so how can human beings develop? If only Chen Yang was alone. The opponent crushed it at will, but it was fine. But now, with Lu Yuyao and Hong Wuliang sitting behind Chen Yang, how dare the other party rashly take action? Once they fight, they will be held accountable. So, it's no use calling daddy over for this guy. At most, they are bald with their son, and the family just needs to be neat and tidy. At this time, seeing Guan Neiliang make a phone call, Lu Yuyao frowned. She had a little impression of Guan Neiliang. After all, she was transferred to S-level Huiyan Mage, and she could be regarded as the genius of this session. The result was unexpected. Such a big thing happened today. Listening to the discussions of the people around her, she probably knew what had just happened. This Guan Neiliang led people to make trouble at the gate of Hengwu shopping mall, but he didn't know how to do it. He suddenly lost his head, and then. As a girl, Lu Yuyao was completely blind. But, strange to say, what the hell is going on with these four guys? Not only was my head bald at the same time, but at the same time, ahem. To say that there is no one who is doing ghosts, Lu Yuyao is the first to not believe it. But to say that this is Chen Yang doing a ghost, she also doesn't believe it. After all, Chen Yang was just a summoner who had just changed classes, and he didn't even bring out the summoned items. How could he do such an incredible thing? Chen Yang, why don't you leave first? Lu Yuyao thought for a while and said, Uncle Hong and I can help you with this matter. Anyway, this matter has nothing to do with you. Fine. Chen Yang shook his head. Anyway, they came to trouble me. It happened, I don't need to be afraid of anything. I believe that his father must be willing to reason. Say this. Make Lu Yuyao look at him with admiration. This Chen Yang, are you so responsible? If this were an ordinary student, I'm afraid I would have been busy trying to run away, so as not to be targeted by the other's father. As a result, Chen Yang was willing to stay and take responsibility. Although he is not really responsible. But this kind of courage is not something that ordinary people can have. But, what Lu Yuyao didn't know was, Chen Yang wanted to stay because he wanted Guan Neiliang's family to be neat and bald together. If the other party's father is unwilling to reason, then come to a bald warning or something. But, what surprised Chen Yang was, this Guan Neiliang's father doesn't seem to be the kind of person who doesn't mind. Soon, Guan Junlong drove over and got out of the car from the side of the road. From a distance, he scolded, Stinky boy, I just changed jobs today. If I don't go to level up properly, I will cause trouble here. Go back soon, I'm really embarrassed. This is a middle-aged man with black and thick hair. Wearing a denim jacket, looking at the expression on his face, the attitude of reprimanding his son does not seem to be fake. Obviously, on the way here, he had already heard what had happened. Not as hysterical as the son. But after thinking about it carefully, the information revealed by this matter. First, he believes that this matter has nothing to do with the young man named Chen Yang. After all, how could a newly transferred summoner have such a curse-type ability? And I heard that the first subordinate that Chen Yang summoned was also an elf priest, and it was even more impossible to have such a means of harassing people. So, there are two possibilities. One is that his son bullied others, was disliked by passers-by, and taught him a lesson. Another is, this rookie summoner named Chen Yang has someone behind him. Either way, he can only eat a dumb loser. To be honest, this kind of curse-type ability is extremely rare. Even if he is a powerhouse of more than 80 levels, he has hardly encountered it so far. However, once this ability appears, that must be a terrifying existence that he cannot afford to provoke. In this situation, how dare he protect his son? Not to dare to hold Chen Yang accountable. Even though his son is very humiliated today, extremely humiliated, but other than that, there is no substantial loss. In his opinion, if the other party really has any idea, his own son is afraid that he has been abolished now, and he can't even find out who did it. This thing today, in his opinion, It was just a lesson given to him by a certain boss, to his son. So, after this Guan Junlong came over, he scolded his son first, and after scolding, he came to Chen Yang and others with a good attitude. Boss Hong, Miss Liu, I'm really sorry for letting you guys see a joke. Guan Junlong apologized respectfully. I will definitely discipline my son in the future. Question mark question mark question mark. Chen Yang never expected that such a scene would appear. I originally thought that it would be the sword drawn, and then he made another move to make this old man bald or something. Result: apologize when people come up. This style is not right. But this made Chen Yang react. People in this world are not as brainless as the supporting characters in some novels. This Guan Junlong can rise to more than 80 levels, not only need talent and strength, but also the brain. That being the case, Chen Yang was embarrassed to start. But Guan Junlong didn't know that his act of apology saved his thick black hair. For Chen Yang, this matter is over. But that Guan Naliang was uncomfortable. Especially when he found out that after his father came, not only did he not revenge him, but instead apologized to others. This scene made him even more collapsed. What can he do about this? The only thing he's happy about now is he was not the only one who made a fool of himself today. There are also his 3 younger brothers, who can share with him a little. Fortunately, it belongs to yes. Then, Chen Yang left smoothly. After all, it happened at the entrance of the shopping mall, so Hong Wuliang took care of the follow-up. Immediately after, Chen Yang went to several places, bought rabbits with various methods, and bought 2 large boxes of authentic pure milk. By the time he flew home, it was already a little dark. I was worried that the 2 girls in the family would quarrel or something. Result: when Chen Yang entered the door from the balcony, he felt a burst of heat. It turned out that the air conditioner in the living room was turned on, and it was specially adjusted to the highest heating. Besides, the TV was turned on, the electric fan was turned on, the range hood was turned on, but the 2 women were not seen. At the same time, the door to the bathroom was closed, and there was also the sound of a hair dryer whirring. In such a short time, the house has turned upside down. He came to the door of the bathroom and pushed open the door to take a look. It was found that Isabella was curious, holding a hair dryer that was powered on, and dangling. Sylvie was carefully hiding behind her, watching the hairdryer, her big eyes full of curiosity, and her pointed ears quivering. They, even working on a hair dryer together. Chen Yang is speechless. But the relationship between these 2 girls seems to be getting better. 10 minutes later, Chen Yang finally restored everything in the room to normal. As for the room temperature heated by the air conditioner, it was him who activated an ice and snow field halo and returned the room temperature to normal. Have to say, although some of his auras are very strange, some of them are still very useful. Then, Sylvie and Isabella, just like good babies, sat at the dining table. Chen Yang took out the food that was bought for them from the princess bracelet. Of course, it was mainly bought for Sylvie. What fresh pot rabbit, dry pot rabbit, cold rabbit, spicy rabbit, small fried rabbit, everything. At first, when she saw this, she seemed a little resistant. After all, she has always eaten roasted rabbits. But soon, as she tasted these dishes, she was immediately pleasantly surprised. Rabbits in this world seem to be more delicious than those in their world. As for the succubus girl Isabella, she took the milk, sipped her mouth, and slowly drank it. He licked the corners of his mouth while drinking, full of temptation. Who can resist this? Anyway, Chen Yang can't stand it. But he is still more concerned about the relationship between the 2 women. How did it get better after a while? He still remembered that when he went out, the elf girl was still very wary of the succubus. When I came back, the 2 women actually got together to study the hair dryer. Chen Yang had to wonder, did this succubus girl do something strange? Then, Chen Yang chatted with the elf girl privately while they were eating. Sylvie, did she do anything bad to you when I was away? If there is, you can tell me, and I will punish her for you. Question mark question mark question mark. Sylvie ate the rabbit deliciously, but she didn't expect Chen Yang to ask her this question. But she quickly replied in private chat, well, no. Isabella is actually very pitiful. This princess didn't expect that she was a succubus who was exiled to the dark abyss. Dark abyss. Chen Yang was a little puzzled. What is this place? Soon after Sylvie explained while eating, Chen Yang finally figured it out. It turned out that the Dark Abyss is an abandoned place in another world, which is extremely barren, and is accompanied by dark storms raging every moment. There is a succubus tribe that escaped to the Dark Abyss hundreds of years ago. It was sealed in it. They are battling the darkness all the time, facing an existential crisis all the time. Don't talk about hurting men. I can't even eat every day. And Isabella is the most talented member of this succubus tribe. However, because of the seal of the Dark Abyss, even though Isabella has SS-level magic talent, she can't get any improvement, her magic power can't be increased, and her skills can't be learned. It can be said that in the Dark Abyss, this succubus tribe is facing unimaginable despair. The succubus of the older generation, in order to protect the tribe, has almost been killed and injured. In a few years, this succubus tribe will probably be completely destroyed. Also at this time, Isabella, summoned by Chen Yang. This let her see hope and the hope of her entire tribe. Therefore, she has always been very Buddhist. After all, for her, as long as she can come out of the Dark Abyss, she is already extremely happy. How could she quarrel with an elf? Not to mention, Chen Yang is her summoner. For her, Chen Yang is her hope to become stronger and save the entire clan. Reasonably, she also hopes that Chen Yang will become stronger. Naturally, he won't quarrel with other people under Chen Yang's subordinates. I see. After knowing all this, only then did Chen Yang have a certain understanding of Isabella. And, when this succubus girl was brought to the Dark Abyss, she was just a child. In other words, for certain things, she has only heard about them, never seen them, and never practiced them personally. It is equivalent to, I have never even seen a pig run, and I have never eaten pork. So, Isabella is a pure succubus. Chen Yang feels a little weird, this is too rare, right? But, when I think of my physique as a girlfriend's friend, it is normal to encounter this situation. Girl, can an impure be considered a girl? Chen Yang looked at the succubus girl sitting on the chair, drinking milk gracefully, and finally understood why the relationship between her and Sylvie became better. First, this Isabella has never harmed any men at all. Second, the environment in which she grew up was too hard. By comparison, Sylvie is like living in heaven. It is worth mentioning that the girls summoned by Chen Yang can return to their different worlds with Chen Yang's consent. Moreover, Chen Yang can call them again at any time. Certainly, now Isabella and Sylvie have only come here. On the one hand, they are curious about this world, and on the other hand, they also want to have a good relationship with Chen Yang, so they are not in a hurry to go back. Speaking of this, Chen Yang looked at the sky outside, it had become dark. The moonlight shines on the earth. In the urban area of Zhongnan City, it is already brightly lit. At the end of the day, the secret realms in the secret realm area outside were basically beaten, and now there is no dungeon to play when I go out. So here comes the problem. Do you want to go back tonight? Chen Yang looked at Sylvie and Isabella. Regarding Chen Yang's question, the two women looked at each other. I'm not going back. Sylvie snorted softly and said proudly, I will be locked up when I go back, and I can't do anything, it's too boring. So miserable. Chen Yang was a little surprised. It is said that she is a princess of the elf family, and I am not allowed to run around. Sylvie said angrily. All right, this situation. Chen Yang almost understood. Afraid of the elf family, afraid that something happened to her running around, she would stay at home. Since she doesn't want to go back, let her stay. And you? Chen Yang looked at the succubus girl. Although I don't want to go back. However, I still have to tell my sisters the good news first. Isabella was a little helpless. Consider her situation. Chen Yang nodded. Then go back. Just a notification, soon. Isabella pursed her lips and chuckled, and glanced at Chen Yang with seductive eyes. Soon, Isabella drank 2 cartons of milk and went back to the Dark Abyss first. As for Sylvie, eat rabbits as much as you can. Then go take a shower. Chen Yang taught her how to use the shower head in the bathroom and walked out. In the living room, he thought about his aura. For leveling tomorrow, you can turn on the halo 3 times. Stealth, 10 times the attack, and 10 times the experience aura. when brushing today, because the level 1 to 10 upgrade speed is too fast. So there is no need to open the halo of 10 times the experience at all. Before level 5, you can only open one halo, so there is definitely no place for it. As for level 5, Chen Yang also prioritized the speed of spawning monsters in order to earn the first pot of gold quickly. Not to mention, even if you open 10 times the experience aura, go in and fight 2 small monsters, the experience will reach the upper limit that the dungeon can rise to, which is equivalent to opening in vain. For example, a level 5 copy can allow a person to rise to level 9 at most. Level 8 dungeon, up to level 12. Not to mention 10 times the experience, it is useless to open 100 times the experience. In this case, Chen Yang didn't consider this aura, but now, he and Sylvie have already reached level 10, and the leveling speed will slow down after level 10. At this time, if you open a 10-fold halo, it will be cool. For newcomers who change jobs, it takes about a week for level 1 to 10. Levels 10 to 20 will take 1 to 2 months. But here at Chen Yang, it is expected that one day tomorrow, you will be able to directly upgrade to level 20. After nearly half an hour, the sound of water in the bathroom stopped. Humanity, this princess's bracelet, Sylvie's voice came out. Quote. Chen Yang walked over and knocked on the door. Then I saw a bathroom door opened a crack, and a small white and tender hand stretched out, linking the princess's hand. This girl, all the clothes that can be changed are put in the storage space of the bracelet. When Chen Yang picked up the equipment, he accidentally glanced at it. The clothes are so girly. Soon, the elf princess put on a snow-white nightdress, held a hairdryer in her hand, and happily opened the door and ran out. Human, you said earlier, can you blow dry your hair with this? Her long hair was wet and dripping from the tips. He raised the hairdryer in his hand, looking very interested. I used this before, but now I don't. Chen Yang glanced at her, the water on the hair was dripping, and the ground soon became wet. Raise your hand, open the halo of life drying. Directly evaporate all the moisture in the designated area within the scope. Less than a second, Sylvie's long hair and water stains on the ground were all cleaned up quickly and easily. Quote. Sylvie was stunned. Originally, she was eager to try the magical electrical appliances in this world, but Chen Yang dried her hair with a wave of his hand. Never mind, Sylvie didn't bother. Anyway, for her, there are still many novel things in this world. Human, I want to see that. She reached out and pointed to the LCD TV screen hanging on the wall. Turn the channel yourself. Chen Yang helped her turn on the TV, threw the remote control away, and taught her a little. After learning, she happily climbed onto the bed, knelt at the end of the bed, faced the TV, and started to tune the channel. Looking at her graceful figure that could not be concealed by her snow-white nightdress, Chen Yang felt a little pain in the ass. It's too tempting to commit a crime, isn't it? Fine. At this moment, Isabella chatted with him privately that the message was finished. She can come back. It's finally time to play the role of her profession. Chen Yang thought with a smile. As for Isabella's profession, of course, dark demon. Mage. Then, here Chen Yang began to enjoy it. But this night, Zhongnan City was not peaceful. In the building of the Tianqi building, a top 10 powerhouse in Zhongnan City, Su Sheng's, is paying attention to the news from all over the place today. Su Sheng's, Su Qimeng's father, has already surpassed 100 level powerhouse. He is the owner of Tianqi building and the immediate boss of the former middle-aged uncle Sun Xingfa. I just transferred to a class that can be invisible today, just brushing bronze and silver dungeons. A mysterious powerhouse appeared in Zhongnan City, making people bald in an instant, even in public. These two things let Su Sheng's care very much. He has already sent someone to investigate. Among the transferees from No. 1 high school today, all thieves, assassins, and stealth transferee data are collected. Once the identity of the other party is confirmed, directly find a way to pull the other party into Tianqi building to cultivate. Pity, he didn't know that the direction of his investigation was wrong from the beginning. As for another thing, the powerhouses who have appeared in Zhongnan City with the incredible ability to make people bald cannot be ignored either. Thought here, Su Sheng's carefully touched his head, the already thinning hair. This curse-like ability is too terrifying, it's hard to guard against it. According to the situation at the scene, it's very likely that it's the rookie summoner named Chen Yang, and the person behind him is protecting him. This son. You must not offend him. This is not just Su Shengji's idea. It is also Lu Yuyao, Hong Wuliang, and the thoughts of many powerhouses such as Junlong. However, Chen Yang didn't know that under such circumstances, he was noticed by the big bosses in Zhongnan City. He didn't expect it at all. His bald-headed ability actually made many big bosses in Zhongnan City worry. And these big guys. It is even more impossible to think that Chen Yang, the initiator, is now enjoying the gentle techniques of the succubus girl. This night, it was the day when thousands of students from one high school changed jobs. Some were happy, some couldn't sleep. For Guan Neiliang, who originally transferred to S-level Huiyan Mage, today is his lucky day. But unfortunately, because of the trouble with Chen Yang, today became the most humiliating day in his life. Video about his day. It has been broadcast on major social platforms and video sites. It made him so angry that he sent hundreds of lawyer letters one after another. But, even so, some people spread his video privately, and he couldn't stop it no matter what. He can already imagine, starting from tomorrow. As long as he goes out. When others see him, they will think of the scene where he made a fool of himself at the entrance of Hongwu Shopping Mall, and then point at him. Too painful. And all this, in his opinion, it was brought to him by Chen Yang. Wait for Lao Su to develop. Guan Neiliang's self-confidence is still there. After all, he is also an S-level Huiyan Mage. Pity, he didn't know that if he troubled Chen Yang again, what he would encounter would not be just a simple matter of shame. The next day, early in the morning, in Zhongnan City and Xian Villa, a red car stopped at the gate of the community. A long-haired beauty in a casual long dress and black-rimmed glasses got out of the car with a handsome boy. It was Lu Yuyao and Chen Yang. This time, Chen Yang came to see the room. Last night, the succubus girl's gentle technique is really in place, but because there is an elf princess next to her, it is not convenient for Chen Yang to make further moves. She can only put her arms around Isabella and sleep. Let him suffocate a little. So today, he directly asked Lu Yuyao, "Where can I buy a villa?" At that time, let the elf girl live next door by herself. Some things are more convenient to do, ahem. Xian Villa. However, when Chen Yang got off the car, he was a little dumbfounded when he saw the community name. Is this place too expensive? He just wants to buy a small villa, just need more rooms. This Xian Villa meets the requirements, but the price of tens of millions is a bit expensive. Certainly, for Chen Yang, it's okay to be more expensive. If you can't take out so many magic crystals for the time being, 2 days will be enough. You can also pay a deposit first. As for why you are looking for Lu Yuyao. No way. In addition to looking for her, Chen Yang didn't know who to turn to for help at all, and he was afraid of being scammed if he looked for an intermediary. As for Lu Yuyao, naturally happy to help, and in her opinion, she couldn't afford to buy a villa with Chen Yang's conditions, it must be someone behind him who wanted to buy it. That being the case, of course she wants to introduce the better one. Just 2 Xian villas where she lives are for sale. So I brought Chen Yang over to see if he could see it. Just when the two were about to enter the community, a small white car drove from a distance, turned into the community, and then backed away. Chen Yang, Teacher Lu, what a coincidence, what are you doing here? A crisp and pleasant voice came from the car. Chen Yang glanced at it. I found out that it was Su Qimeng, the Bingshan school flower. Only, at this time, Su Qimeng, with a pair of dark circles under her eyes, obviously didn't rest well last night, maybe she didn't rest at all. I took him to see the house. Lu Yuyao was not surprised by Su Qimeng's appearance. After all, the two women lived together in this Xian villa, and they had seen each other many times before. Only, Lu Yuyao looked at Su Qimeng's dark circles and couldn't help but ask, what was this last night? I brushed the dungeon all night. No, I just came back and prepared to rest. Su Qimeng said helplessly. Chen Yang was a little embarrassed when he heard it. Could it be that he robbed all of her bronze copies yesterday, which made her angry, so she worked so hard? Looking at a beautiful girl with a pair of dark circles under her eyes. It's oddly pretty. By the way, Chen Yang. So you're going to live in this community in the future? Su Qimeng looked at Chen Yang again, looking forward to it. She didn't know that Chen Yang was coming here to buy a house. It's not that I look down on Chen Yang. But with Chen Yang's conditions, how could it be possible to buy a house in Xian Villa? After listening to Lu Yuyao's words, she thought that Chen Yang was coming to rent a house. Perhaps Lu Yuyao, as the head teacher, should take care of Chen Yang and save some rent for Chen Yang. After all, as a summoner, Chen Yang really spends a lot of money to buy equipment and skill books for his subordinates. I don't know, let's take a look first. Chen Yang is not sure whether to buy here. Then, have you found the team? Su Qimeng winked at him. If you want to come to my team, you can tell me at any time. There is already a team, thank you. Chen Yang politely declined. Okay, then I'll go back to rest first. Su Qimeng was a little disappointed again, and turned to Chen Yang and said, Chen Yang, come on, if you want to play a team secret in the future, you can ask me for help. There is a difference between the secret realm and the copy. The number of copies is limited to 4 people. But the secret realm is at least 8 people, and even up to 50 people can enter at the same time. As you can imagine, the difficulty of the secret realm is far more than the copy. It is good. Chen Yang nodded and said nothing. In fact, when he has a god-level aura, even in the secret realm, he is still single-handed. Of course, if it is a secret realm with 50 people, the monsters in it have extremely high blood attacks. With Chen Yang's current situation, it must be relatively reluctant. But in the future, he will summon more and more girls, and there will be more and more god-level auras that can be activated. Is there anything he can't beat? Let's see the house first today. The level has been raised to level 20. At that time, you can open the halo 5 times, and then summon the third girl, so beautiful. Su Qimeng drove away quickly. Lu Yuyao saw it in her eyes and shook her head secretly. Although Su Qimeng was beautiful and her family was in good condition, she was a rare Bai-Fumei in Zhongnan City. But, it is not so easy to pursue Chen Yang. After all, there is a mysterious eldest lady behind Chen Yang, and that is the real strength. Just take out a bracelet, there are at least 10 cubic meters of storage space, just that bracelet can buy a villa in Xian Villa. Not to mention, a terrifying powerhouse with the ability to curse was also sent to protect Chen Yang at any time. Have to say, if Chen Yang knew about Lu Yuyao's thought, she would be stunned. These people, the brain is too powerful, isn't it? Chapter 31. Certainly, judging from the situation that Lu Yuyao and others encountered, it is completely reasonable for them to make such a guess. After all, Chen Yang is a rookie summoner. How is it possible to have the ability to make people bald? And the 4 people are bald and squirting together, no matter how you look at it, it will not be a coincidence. So, it is only possible that someone behind Chen Yang is protecting him. For other bosses in Zhongnan City, it is possible that the bosses pass by and can't stand Guan Neiliang bullying others, so they will take action. But Lu Yuyao and Hong Wuliang knew it. There is a mysterious lady behind Chen Yang. So, all this speculation seems logical. Soon, Chen Yang followed the head teacher Lu Yuyao and looked at the 2 villas in Xian Villa. Have to say, it is indeed one of the top communities in Zhongnan City. Each villa costs 70 million to 80 million magic crystals to buy, but the configuration is definitely top-notch. Regardless of the decoration, layout, or furniture and appliances, they are all the latest models, and no one has even lived in them. If it is a normal person, money can't necessarily buy it. After all, to live in Xian Villa requires not only money, but also strength and status. People with no background, no one wants to buy a house here. Certainly, Chen Yang didn't know these things, it was Lu Yuyao who was helping him in her own capacity. Soon, Chen Yang decided to buy one of the villas, which happened to be next door to Lu Yuyao's residence. Pay a 5% deposit first, and the balance can be paid at any time. You can move in tonight. Lu Yuyao put down the phone and told Chen Yang the result of the communication with the landlord. Okay, thank you Mr. Lu. Chen Yang sincerely thank you. Small things. Lu Yuyao covered her mouth and chuckled lightly. However, you just changed jobs yesterday, and now you still have to focus on development. Rise to level 10 as soon as possible, and then summon a second subordinate. Your combat ability will be much stronger. It is good. Chen Yang nodded helplessly. In fact, he was level 10 last night, but this thing. He also does not deliberately preach everywhere. To avoid some unexpected dangers. 9 in the morning. After Chen Yang paid the 4 million villa deposit, he returned home. Wake up Sylvie and Isabella, who were still sleeping. Isabella is all right. She sleeps gracefully, her slender legs are slightly bent together, making her heart beat faster at a glance. But that fairy princess. His long hair was spread out, his arms were stretched out, and his little head was lying on Isabella's long legs. That's it, the elf princess. Get up, get up. Certainly, Chen Yang has to admit. This scene is really nosebleed. But this girl's sleeping image is too unsightly. As the two women were called by Chen Yang to get up. Another busy day begins. After they got up, washed and changed their clothes, they followed Chen Yang and flew out from the balcony. They were in a hidden state and went straight to the forest secret area more than 20 kilometers away. Due to the 10 times speed of the power of the wind, the three were extremely fast. More than 20 kilometers, it took only 3 minutes to arrive. Unfortunately, agility is still not high enough. This speed is not as fast as the speed of sound. Chen Yang sighed. If you let others know what he thinks, they will scold him, and the speed exceeds the speed of sound. That is only possible for a powerhouse of at least level 70. He is a rookie summoner, thinking about breaking the speed of sound. Forest Secret Area. Refresh the secret realms and dungeons of level 11 to 20, the lowest bronze level and the highest platinum level. This secret area. For many job transferers with poor talent, the difficulty is already very high. Even, many job changers simply give up. When you reach level 10, the salted fish will lie flat. No way. For secret realms over level 10, the minimum is bronze level, and there is no black iron level copy to mix. Let's get a gold rank first. Hey, is there a gold level secret entrance here? Maximum number of people, 8 people. Come on, go in and sweep this secret realm. Chen Yang waved his hand and flew in with Sylvie and Isabella. The monsters in the secret realm of the team give much more experience than the dungeon. After entering the secret realm, he locked the secret realm and did not let other job transferers enter. Just as he quietly entered this secret realm, a few minutes later, a fully armed team of 8 people rushed over from not far away. This is a gold level 11, team secret realm. In order to conquer this secret realm, they prepared for a full night, recruiting people, and preparing some specific equipment. Result, when they gathered the lineup and came over to prepare for the fight. But found, someone has already entered this secret realm. Moreover, the other party is only one person. Crazy. This is an elite team of 8 from other high schools, all a little dumbfounded. These 8 people are all level 12 to 13 transferees. They are all students from the next door high school who changed jobs last month, and they are fairly talented fighting professions. Among them, 5 men and 3 women are fully equipped. Seeing that the secret realm of the team they were going to fight was actually occupied by a lone wolf, I was a little puzzled. Who the hell is this? If you can't beat it, you can still go in and take a place, wasting our time. I hope he comes out earlier, or when will we wait? Wait, I heard that yesterday, a super genius was transferred from No. 1 high school, and he has been playing bronze and silver dungeons alone. Can a special instance be compared to a secret realm? Not to mention it is a gold level secret realm. That's right, I can do a single level 5 dungeon. I can do it now, but I want to brush the gold level team secret realm alone. Are you eating too much? A group of people were talking. From their perspective, the guy who entered the secret realm came here to be funny, and it was impossible to clear the secret realm at all. Just wasting their time. This made them all angry to death. Certainly, such a situation is actually quite common on a global scale. Some people go to the dungeon or the secret realm alone, and don't fight monsters, just delay time. As for the mentality of such a person, only God knows. By the way, there is a silver level dungeon next door. You 2 output, give me a milk, and fight with me first. It's a hands-on practice. We will share the output equally. The rest will stay here, and when that person comes out, you can go in and occupy the secret realm. Among the 8 people, there was a tank profession like the captain, so he thought about it and said. The rest all nodded in agreement. In this way, they can also benefit a little while waiting. But, what they don't know is, Chen Yang, who entered the secret realm of this team, has no chance of overturning. Level 11 Gold Level Team Secret Realm. If the upper limit is 8 people, the mobs among them have between 7,000 and 8,000 HP. Chen Yang used what he had learned to do a little calculation. I found that to kill the mobs here in seconds, only a 10 times attack halo is enough. As for the other 2 halos, Chen Yang finally opened, 10 times the experience halo, super speed growth. 10 times the defense aura, holy shield. He didn't bother to hide. After all, stealth is not invincible, once attacked by monsters, you will still be injured. And with the sacred shield, Chen Yang and the 2 women in this secret realm are already invincible. In this low-level dungeon, there will be no monster attacks that ignore defense. Set off. With Chen Yang's command, the succubus girl Isabella raised her hand and released a surge of darkness, instantly killing the dozen or so mobs in front of her. Compared with Sylvie, this Isabella is a serious mage, a top output occupation. And her talent is a 50% black magic bonus. As long as it is a dark spell, the damage in her hands is extremely terrifying. Before, she was only summoned, and before she was equipped, she could deal half of Sylvie's damage. Now with a full set of gold, silver gear, the damage is even more terrifying. It can be said, with Isabella's shot, Sylvie can make soy sauce. Until then, Sylvie finally regained the feeling of being a priest. She only needed to be behind and release, blessing of attack, on Isabella to increase her damage by 30%. As for healing skills, in the case of a spike all the way, no one will be injured at all. Soon, when the first batch of bull demon mobs were killed by Isabella, Chen Yang opened the 3 auxiliary auras. Blessings from the heavens, wealth rolling in, and the blasphemy of the dead. 10 times the drop, 10 times the magic crystal, luck is full. The explosion rate of the team's mysterious monsters is higher than that of ordinary dungeons. This wave is down, only a dozen little monsters. 12 pieces of platinum level loot are directly exposed. Get rich. Is this team's secret realm too profitable? If all 12 platinum level loot are sold, it is equivalent to 1.5 - 2 million magic crystals. You know, this is just a drop of a batch of mobs. If Chen Yang clears the entire team's secret realm, wouldn't he just get a villa? The most important is, the equipment on Chen Yang and the 2 girls can also be upgraded, and their combat power has soared. When Sylvie picked up the spoils in one go, Chen Yang's eyes lit up. Crying Moon Staff Platinum Level Staff, limited to mage occupations. Magic Attack plus 795, Constitution plus 69, Spirit plus 83, 17% double casting probability. Requirement level 11. This wand, excellent, with a 17% double casting probability. For the output of the mage, this increase is unimaginable. This staff alone can sell for more than 1 million. It's a pity that the level is a little lower. If this staff of 40 or 50 levels has a double casting entry, I'm afraid it can be sold for hundreds of millions. Chen Yang threw it to Isabella. Then look at your own experience value. After this wave of mobs was killed, Chen Yang's experience value reached level 10 and 75%. 10 times the experience, or single playing the gold level team's secret realm, it's all so slow. It's hard to imagine how tortured it would be for other job transferers to upgrade. Chen Yang sighed. Anyway, with his speed of leveling up, let alone Su Qimeng, even if there is a SSS level transferee, it is impossible to catch up with him. There are more monsters in the secret realm of the team. The map is also bigger. It takes at least 20 minutes to clear the level even if it is an instant kill all the way. Chen Yang shook his head. Move on with the 2 girls. Along the way, all kinds of platinum level equipment and skill books fell wildly, and the experience of the 3 people skyrocketed. No one thought of, yesterday, Chen Yang, who was still a rookie transferee. Today, you can clear monsters like a bulldozer in this difficult golden team secret realm. Unlike ordinary copies, there are at least 5 or 6 bosses in the team secret realm, and they are all big bosses. Not only the damage and blood volume are higher than ordinary boss, and some more powerful skills, but This is not difficult for Chen Yang at all. Isabella swept away the mobs by herself, and at most, let Sylvie besieged and beaten together when fighting the boss. What exorcism light, what arrow of darkness. All of a sudden, he screamed at the boss. In the process, Chen Yang will switch the 10 times experience, aura to deadly eye, so that their skill damage will definitely hit the boss's weakness and cause an additional 300% crit damage. When the boss is about to die, he will switch back to 10 times the experience aura. The level 11 team boss in the secret realm, only at the gold level, already has more than 400,000 HP. It seems that if the equipment and skills are not in place, the damage will not be enough to play in more difficult secret realms in the future. True, Chen Yang's many god-level auras can be stacked, and he can also summon more girls. But this is just an 8-person team secret realm. There are also 12, 16, and even up to 50 team secrets. The blood volume of the boss in the secret realm can be more than 100 times more than that of the bosses in the secret realm of 8 people. Then, when Isabella and Sylvie worked hard to kill monsters, Chen Yang picks equipment right behind. Mage equipment, priest equipment, summoner equipment, all parts are selected with the best attributes. Even with Chen Yang's divine aura, equipment and skills are equally important. After all, take the attack attribute alone. If a piece of equipment adds 500 attack power, it will be 5,500 points after the aura bonus. Equivalent to the girls summoned by Chen Yang, wearing one piece of equipment is equivalent to wearing 10 pieces of equipment for others. The benefits that equipment brings to them can be imagined. This priest's necklace is good. It has a halo special effect and adds 300 attack power to surrounding teammates. Counting 10 times the attack halo, doesn't the attack power increase by more than 3,000? This summoner skill is good. Platinum level, spiritual blessing. After opening it, it increases the damage output of summons by 40%. And this mage equipment, let's not mention the attributes for the time being. Does the girl wear double black silk? Chen Yang looked at a mage leggings equipment in his hand and was a little surprised. He knew it before. Some equipment, when worn by men and women, does not perform the same. For example, the breastplate, the equipment will be automatically adjusted according to the body shape of men and women. No matter who wears a piece of equipment, the size will be very suitable. And stockings equipment is relatively rare. There are only a few legal leggings that turn into stockings after women wear them. It just so happens that the attributes are good. Issa comes over and puts it on. Chen Yang greeted him. The succubus girl came to him lightly, and after changing into the equipment, a pair of long legs wrapped in black stockings, slender and well-proportioned. Chen Yang glanced at her attributes. It was found that her defense power increased from more than 4,300 points to more than 5,600 points under the aura of Holy Shield. A bit outrageous. It's just a pair of stockings, the defense is so high. Can you still call stockings that can't be torn? Chen Yang is a little skeptical. Gotta try it at home. Looking at Chen Yang's eyes, Isabella always thinks he's a little bad. But she didn't care. After all, she was a succubus. Succubus is not afraid of bad men, just afraid that men are not bad. Cough. ... The journey to the secret realm that is pushed all the way is a bit boring. While Isabella was in front of the monsters, Chen Yang teased the elf in the back. Sylvie, do you want to be an output priest, or do you want to be an auxiliary priest? Chen Yang asked. Help the pastor. The elf girl's long eyelashes trembled slightly before answering after thinking for a while. She felt that if she answered that she wanted to output, Chen Yang would let her go to the front to kill the monsters together. Okay, then I'll sell the priest's output equipment, and I won't give it to you. Chen Yang held a shiny ring in his hand and threw it into the storage space of the princess bracelet. What? Sylvie was stunned. How can this be? I never dreamed that Chen Yang was actually asking her to do multiple choice questions. There is absolutely no right answer to this. What if she chose another option and Chen Yang went back and sold the auxiliary priest's equipment? Human. You are too treacherous, Sylvie said fiercely. But before she finished speaking, she saw Chen Yang throw the ring to her. She stretched out her hands with a confused look and took the ring in her hands. At first glance, you are less surfing. Chen Yang glanced at her and said, I can't even catch a stock. I'll buy you a mobile phone and play by myself in the future. Only children make choices, I want them all. Isn't this a good choice? Elves are pure. But, you just said that I was treacherous, so you should be punished properly. Chen Yang said lightly, run for me. Wait, don't give orders yet. Sylvie immediately raised her little hand with a pitiful look on her face. Chen Yang big brother, I was wrong, don't punish me. What the hell? When Chen Yang saw Sylvia's pitiful appearance, he was a little shocked. This girl, when did you learn to pretend to be pitiful? Don't say it yet. Looking at her pitiful appearance, even though she knew she was pretending, Chen Yang still couldn't bear to punish her. Fine, Chen Yang sighed, but what did you call me just now? That big brother is not bad, just call me that in the future. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Hearing this, Sylvie's pupils suddenly dilated, and she wanted to refuse for the first time. But Chen Yang took the lead. This is an order. Quote. Sylvie suddenly wanted to cry without tears. This time, she escaped punishment though, but every time you call Chen Yang, you have to call Chen Yang big brother. It's too shameful, isn't it? Her pretty face turned a little red. But soon, she gave up. Chen Yang big brother. Chen Yang big brother. Chen Yang big brother. Chen Yang big brother. She started shouting incessantly. In her opinion, as long as she shouts enough times, Chen Yang will get bored and will naturally cancel the order. Pity. Shout out the words, big brother, to her so sweetly. Chen Yang found that this is not boring no matter what, it is so comfortable, it is the ultimate enjoyment. So, along the way, she kept shouting these 4 words. Chen Yang walked forward comfortably. Cool. At this time, walking in front, the succubus girl Isabella, who was in charge of clearing monsters, also noticed the situation behind. Seeing Sylvie, she walked around Chen Yang and shouted, big brother. Make Isabella smile. This elf princess is really a girlish mentality. Immediately, Isabella thought of her situation. Compared with Sylvie, it was indeed a world of difference. Living in a place like the dark abyss since she was a child, she developed a mature and self-improving character from a very young age. Now, it's hard to be summoned. She must seize this opportunity and become stronger desperately. Even though, in this team, it seems that she is the only one cleaning up the mobs. But for her, it just happened to let her familiarize herself with the release and use of dark magic. After all, in the dark abyss, she had talent but rarely used these abilities. In the dark abyss, it takes a long time to recover the magic power that has been consumed. At the end of the year, she can cast 2 or 3 magic spells, which is pretty good. Now, unleash the magic as much as you like, and Isabelle especially enjoys the process. Moreover, she also wants to perform well in front of Chen Yang. For her, Chen Yang isn't just her summoner. It is her savior. You know, what is the most important thing for a succubus? For hundreds of years, she has never experienced it. She was finally summoned by Chen Yang, and she didn't want to miss it. Certainly, in this world, she would only be interested in Chen Yang. When she saw Chen Yang for the first time, she had a kind of intimacy, and more importantly, Chen Yang had a terrifying god-level aura. Only Chen Yang can make her stronger and led her towards the hope of saving the clan. Compared to survival, everything else seems so irrelevant and insignificant. Unconsciously, Isabella stopped. She raised her head and looked forward. The third boss room, here. It was 10 minutes after Chen Yang and Isabella entered the secret realm of the team together. The original 8-person team outside has been divided into 2 teams. One team is going to play the silver level dungeon, and the other team is guarding the entrance of the team's secret realm. They are chatting. I thought this was just a small episode, and soon the guy who played alone would flee in embarrassment, thus giving up the secret realm to them, but outside, 2 top experts from Zhongnan City descended from the sky and came to the entrance of the team's secret realm. Apocalypse Building, Su Sheng's. Apocalypse Building, Sun Xingfa. A middle-aged man with a dignified temperament and a middle-aged uncle with a shaggy beard flew from the sky and landed quickly. This scene, the 4 student transferees who were guarding the gate of the secret realm were all stunned. Su Sheng's. Who does not know this big guy in the whole Zhongnan City? That is Zhongnan City, one of the top powerhouses of the 4 major forces, and its combat power ranks at least in the top 3 in the city. But this is just a low-level rift area for levels 11 to 20. This big guy, what are you doing here? Haven't waited for them to react. Su Sheng's came to the entrance of the secret realm, checked the state of the secret realm, and his face suddenly became solemn. Sure enough, how long has he been in? He casually asked the students next to him. 10 minutes. The student looked a little flattered. Okay, let's leave first, you don't have to wait here. Su Sheng's waved his hand. Since he has entered, this secret realm will be cleared soon. How can that be? Gold level team secret realm, how could someone be able to play solo? Suddenly, the group of students couldn't believe it. After all, level 11 gold level secret realm, up to level 14 transferees can enter. What kind of genius job transferer is it possible to have the strength to single play the team secret realm before level 14? Never heard of it at all. One person, 10,000 magic crystals, get out of here. At this time, Uncle Sun Xingfa stepped forward and gave the magic crystal with a fierce look. Forehead. When the 4 students saw this, how dare they say more nonsense? I hurriedly took the 10,000 magic crystals and ran away together. Immediately after, Sun Xingfa came forward and respectfully asked Su Sheng's, "Boss, do you need to create a barrier so that he can't fly after he comes out of the secret realm?" Hear Sun Xingfa's words. Su Sheng's gave him a deep look. Sun Xingfa, are you an idiot? You want us to directly offend such a super genius? These 2 days, Sun Xingfa happened to be patrolling the southern area of Zhongnan City. This forest secret area is also within the patrol range of Sun Xingfa. Just when Chen Yang entered the secret realm of the team for less than 3 minutes, Sun Xingfa noticed the situation here. After all, it is a 95 level S-level hunter. His perception is quite sharp. The main reason is that the situation here is a bit unusual. The 8-person team is obviously going to play the team secret realm, but they actually separated. So he looked at it from a distance. Sure enough, it was found that the secret realm of this team was entered by 1 person and locked. Then, he notified Su Sheng's. And Su Sheng's. On the other hand, it is extremely important, and I rushed over in person as soon as possible. ... We don't have to do anything, just wait for him to clear the secret realm and come out. Su Sheng said lightly. Shaking his sleeves, he found a large rock and sat down. He was thinking about. Throughout Zhongnan City, the Tianqi building where he is located is definitely the first to contact this super genius, and is most likely to establish cooperation with the other party. Even if the other party doesn't want to join Tianqi building. Also at least have a good relationship with each other. Thus, for the future development of Tianqi building, there are many benefits. All right, Sun Xingfa also shook his head helplessly. Actually, he's really not stupid. Rather, he actually met this super genius yesterday, but he didn't see each other. Even, he didn't know whether the other party heard him or not. This feeling is so tortuous. Today, Su Sheng's came in person. What if the guy is still like that? After all, the stealth ability of that super genius is indeed terrifying. If the other party doesn't want to pay attention to them, what cooperation is there to discuss? Certainly, creating an enchantment in this area to prevent the opponent from leaving is indeed a relatively stupid way. But for a while, he couldn't think of any better way to force the other party to stay and talk. But, since Su Sheng's intends to talk like this, let's talk like this. Anyway, he is the boss, he has the final say. ... At this time, Chen Yang didn't know that someone was guarding him outside. In the secret realm of the team. He had already killed 5 bosses one after another, and while rushing to the final boss area, he was picking out equipment. And what surprised him was, in this dungeon, several platinum level suits were dropped for him one after another. And it's the same set. Exclusive to Dark Magicians, Dark Fog suit. Good stuff. Chen Yang glanced. This Dark Fog set, a total of 11 sets. When the 3-piece suit, the 6-piece suit and the 10-piece suit are collected, each special effect will be activated. Then when the 11-piece set is collected, the value of the 3 special effects is doubled. 3-piece effect, Dark Magic gets 35% cooldown reduction. 6-piece effect, Dark Magic damage increased by 50%. 10-piece effect. Dark magic weakens the target spell defense by 35%. If you get a total of 11 sets, that is 70% cooldown reduction, 100% damage increase, and 70% weakened target spell defense. This effect can be said to be very counterintuitive. The key is, this set, extremely difficult to put together. Not to mention the 11-piece set, even the 3-piece set, few people can get it together. Because this thing is a level 10 suit, only platinum level dungeons secrets below level 20 have a small chance to drop. However, there are 11 to 20 level dungeons secret realms, and very few platinum level ones. So, in the market, a level 10 suit like this is extremely expensive, and a single piece can sell for tens of millions of magic crystals. In fact, the black stockings leggings that Chen Yang put on Isabelle just now are the dark mist bottoms, which is one of the dark mist suits. But Chen Yang didn't care too much. After all, if there is only one piece of this set, it will not work at all. But he never expected that this copy would drop other parts of the dark mist suit for him one after another. Dark mist robe, dark mist ring, dark mist necklace, dark mist belt. How can it be so outrageous? Chen Yang felt incredible. Because, level 10 suits are available for all occupations. Even if you want to give him some outfits, it should be evenly distributed to the equipment of each profession. As a result, now, he directly gave him 5 dark fog suits. Is this luck too? Could it be the effect of heaven's blessing? Chen Yang became suspicious. This god-level halo with lucky value provided him with 100 lucky points, to be honest. No one in the history of Blue Star has ever achieved such a high luck value. Because luck value is difficult to obtain, many late-stage equipment with 1 point of luck value is considered to be the best equipment. It has been recorded in history that with equipment plus skills plus talent, the highest luck value is 22 points. When the luck value is 100 points, can the explosive suits be blasted first in the same suit? Is this too cool? Chen Yang estimated. According to the explosion rate of this dark fog suit now, he can get a full set of level 11 to 20 gold dungeons he brushes for a day. For this set, Chen Yang is still looking forward to it. Not only its attributes and set special effects are strong. Another point, this suit is beautiful, to be frank. Equipment like the dark mist suit doesn't add up to many sets in the world. Although it is a primary set, but can't stand the effect of the suit. Even if the basic attributes are low, at least it can be used for more than 30 levels, which belongs to the top equipment in the early stage. There are 5 pieces of a team secret realm. Play 2 more gold level secret realms, and if you get a set, Isabella's combat power will at least double. Chen Yang greeted the succubus girl again. Pass her the other 4 dark mist suits. When the dark mist robe was replaced by her graceful and slender body was tightly wrapped in black silk fabric, and her delicate curves were perfectly displayed. And she activated the 3-piece effect of the dark mist suit on the spot. Dark magic cooldown reduced by 35%. Originally, her dark surge skill had a 6-second cooldown. If you encounter large-scale mobs one after another, it is still a bit troublesome to wait for cooling to clean up. But after activating the 3-piece effect, the cooldown is shortened to less than 4 seconds, and the efficiency of clearing monsters is much more efficient. This made Chen Yang look forward to it. If I get her a dark mist suit. Not to mention this gold level secret realm, even if it is a platinum level secret realm boss, she can instantly kill it. And brush down this copy. In Chen Yang's hands, he obtained several mage skill books. Just one of them. It is a dark attribute attack skill. Dark lightning chain, platinum, mage skill. Unleash a dark chain of lightning on a target, linking all nearby enemies, dealing massive dark damage. If only a single target is hit, the damage is doubled. Cooldown for 8 seconds. Learning requirements. Level 10. This is a high damage skill that can be attacked in groups and single units. Level 10 platinum level skills, regardless of group or single damage, are higher than Isabella's 2 initial skills. One word, study. Then, the final boss of this gold level team secret realm, the supernatural bull demon chief, died tragically under the succubus girl's dark chain of lightning in an instant. Brought a bunch of platinum level equipment to Chen Yang. When the final boss fell to the ground, an upgraded golden light appeared on Chen Yang and the 2 women at the same time. Yes, I just reached level 15. This tenfold experience is just right. Level 11 dungeons, level 11 monsters, can at most allow the transferee to rise to level 15. After reaching level 15, killing level 11 monsters will have no experience. It just happened that this secret realm was finished, and it was not wasted at all. Chen Yang opens the properties panel. Now he basically has a set of platinum level equipment, and the attributes are not bad. Let his strength, physique, and agility each reach more than 300 points, and his spirit is more than 400 points. It is equivalent to double the attributes of when he first entered this secret realm. The key is, now, after he reached level 15, he finally unlocked the 4th Halo slot. When brushing the book, 10 times the attack, 10 times the defense, 10 times the experience, plus the crit aura, the damage is full. When I'm on my way, I can hide, fly, 10 times faster, and add a double attribute enhancement halo. My flying speed can finally break through the speed of sound. When you come, his flight speed is only about 1/3 the speed of sound. But the team's secret realm is over. His base agility is doubled. Coupled with the attribute enhancement, this double attribute aura. Let his speed be 4 times faster than when he came, and directly catch up with the speed of sound. And, after researching for so long, he also found a god-level aura called Holy Touch from the auxiliary aura. Divine Touch god-level halo. After opening, for every monster corpse around you, there is a 1 in 10,000 chance to release a Holy Touch special monster. Kill to get a transformation stone god grade. Chen Yang didn't know what the transformation stone god level was for. But, anyway, he can now activate 4 auras at the same time. When he finishes fighting monsters and touching corpses, he activates a Holy Touch halo by the way, and there is a 1 in 10,000 chance that Divine Touch will appear. Certainly, Chen Yang has the lucky aura of blessing from the heavens, and the probability of brushing this Divine Touch is definitely far more than 1 in 10,000. When you look at it, you'll know what's the use of this thing. Okay, let's go. Find some more gold level dungeons to play, and get the Dark Mist suit together today. Chen Yang sorted out the harvest, and took the 2 girls out of the copy with satisfaction. When he leaves the copy, located in the forest secret area in the south of Zhongnan City, the gold level team's secret entrance gradually disappeared. At the same time, the top tycoon Su Sheng's, who was originally standing by the side, stood up on the spot with a dignified expression. Friend, don't leave yet. He looked at the empty environment around him, and on the surface he remained calm, but in fact he was extremely shocked. This rookie transfer who is definitely no more than level 15. It really has such a strong stealth ability that even he can't see through it. I'm Zhongnan City, the president of Tianqi Building, Su Sheng's. Maybe you are relatively low-key and don't want to show your face, but in this era, if you want to become stronger, you need resources. I want to ask, do you have any plans to join the guild? We Tianqi Building are willing to offer you the highest conditions. The voice fell. In the field, it was quiet. Only in the forest, the whirring sound of the wind. Su Sheng's and Sun Xingfa were still standing there, motionless, not even looking around, but looking at the place where the entrance to the secret realm disappeared just now. And this scene, it made Chen Yang, who had just come out of the secret realm, a little confused, and almost turned on the invincible halo of Sacred Hourglass again. Why did another big guy come here? This guy looks like Su Qimeng's father. Chen Yang recognized Su Sheng's. Seeing that the other party showed no signs of doing anything, and his attitude was quite respectful. He breathed a sigh of relief. I wanted to leave. But think about it. Since the chairman of Tianqi Building is here in person, he just has something to do. Can he cooperate with the other party? Certainly. If he wants to communicate with each other, Chen Yang will naturally not go out in person. Isa, can you become another little sister of your tribe for a while and communicate with this person on my behalf? Chen Yang opened the aura of Shenyan. With 2 girls hidden aside. Naturally, the succubus girl pursed her lips and smiled. She has a pair of beautiful eyes with ease and comfort, and just raised her hand. She has already activated her SS level talent. She can simulate changing to be any woman she has ever met. In times of need to hide identities, she directly transformed into one of her succubus little sisters. Next, Isabella naturally won't show up, she only needs verbal communication. When she changes, the voice of her speech will also change, which can make the other party completely incomprehensible. At the same time, Chen Yang also opened a god-level halo. Deep surround. When turned on, all sounds in the designated area nearby will become deep surround sound. This can make the other party uncertain about Isabella's position. I don't want to join the guild at the moment. However, we might be able to cooperate. A crisp and soft female voice came from all directions. Original. After Su Sheng's asked about what he said, there was no movement around, which made him a little uneasy. But what he didn't expect was, the other party responded. Only, this response completely exceeded his expectations. First, this super genius is actually a woman. Second, how can the voice of the genius come from all directions? This scene made Su Sheng's even more incredible. He sucked in a few breaths. This super genius. The talent he possesses is absolutely terrifying. Whether it's SS or SSS level talent, future achievements are much stronger than me. And judging from her current growth rate, it won't take long for her to become one of the strongest in Zhongnan City. Su Sheng's couldn't help thinking. To know, even he is only a class transferer with S-rank talent. It is because of some special luck and chance that he can develop to this level and strength. In the entire Zhongnan City, there is only one SS level talent transferee, an old man who was cursed in his early years and could not fully exert his strength. In recent years, it is not that Zhongnan City has never produced an SS level transfer person. However, once this happens, it is basically impossible to stay in Zhongnan City to develop in the future. After all, Zhongnan City is just a small city. The surrounding secret realms and dungeon resources are far inferior to those in big cities. To know that after entering the transition era, originally, many cities inhabited by human beings were basically abandoned. Now these cities are all new cities that have been redivided and built based on dungeons and secret realms. So, the more resources in the dungeon secret realm, the easier it is to gather more people and become a larger human settlement. Such a great god. I'm afraid we can't keep Tianqi building. But even if it's just friendship, it's good for us. Su Shengji's heartbeat accelerated. The good news now is that the other party has actually spoken and is willing to communicate with him. As for Chen Yang, he didn't know. As soon as Isabella opened her mouth, she raised his status in Su Shengji's heart by 2 levels again. It's really this deep surround halo, and the effect makes Su Sheng's a little confused. This is just like adding special effects. Who can resist such a strange ability? Su Sheng's took a deep breath and said solemnly, "How do you want to cooperate? Please tell me. I need the distribution map of dungeons and secret realms around Zhongnan City for the next month, at least at the gold level. This, Tianqi building, should be able to provide me with it. In return, I promise you that I can help you with a dungeon or secret realm for free, no matter what level you can." According to Chen Yang's arrangement, Isabella said these words lightly in the voice of her little succubus sister. Listen to the female voices coming from all directions. Su Sheng's and Sun Xingfa. At the same time, his face is a little weird. The other party's request is not difficult to fulfill, and it is even easy for them. The distribution map of the dungeon and the secret realm is just, even if the other party does not mention it, they will collect it by themselves every day. But, the return the other party said was true, which made them a little unexpected. Help them assist a dungeon or secret realm. Still not limited to grades and grades. This guy, how much are you? Let him assist the team secret realm of level 70 or 80, can he help? But, just when Su Sheng's wanted to speak and ask questions, he suddenly found that an extremely terrifying pressure landed on him from the sky. This moment, he can't make any sound. Can't use any skills. The movements of the whole body have become extremely slow. Frost erosion reduces the speed of all surrounding enemies by 90%, no one is immune, including monster boss. Silent field, the surrounding area is completely silent, all enemies cannot speak, and no skills can be released. Now, do you believe I can help? A faint female voice oppressed from all around. As soon as the 2 god-level halos came out, along with these words, Su Sheng's and Sun Xingfa's expressions changed drastically. This super genius, it seems to be much more violent than they imagined. Original. In the eyes of Su Sheng's and Sun Xingfa, the super genius in front of him, no matter how strong he is in the future, at least now, definitely not a strong man. Even, they can slap this guy to death with just one slap. The border is open. Group skills are released. Where is this guy going? It's just that they decided to have a good relationship with each other for the sake of future interests. But didn't expect the other party actually has such a terrifying ability. Obviously there are only a dozen or so levels, but they can directly suppress the two top powerhouses in Zhongnan City. Slow down. Silence. These two effects are suppressed, and their combat power cannot even be displayed by 1/10. Obviously, the other party is showing them that the other party has the ability to assist them in playing dungeons. If this suppressing effect is placed in dungeons and secret realms, it will take effect on monsters. How simple can the dungeons and secret realms be? No wonder she can swipe these bronze, silver and even gold dungeons so quickly. It can slow down monsters by 90%. These low-level monsters can hardly move. What's more, there is silence, and there may even be other means. Su Sheng's was shocked. This ability, once exposed, how much will it cause waves? Incredible, certainly. Since he chose to cooperate with Chen Yang, it is naturally impossible to expose this matter. Soon, when Chen Yang put away the god-level, silent domain, halo, Su Sheng's and Sun Xingfa finally breathed a sigh of relief. Okay, then, wish us a happy cooperation. Su Sheng's asked cautiously. Pleasant to work with. According to Chen Yang's instructions, Isabella replied lightly. Before 8 o'clock every morning, paste the surrounding copies and the distribution map of the secret realm on the top glass of your Tianqi building. I can see it. After saying this, Chen Yang took the two girls and turned on the 10-fold speed and flying halo. Fly away silently. It is good. Su Sheng's nodded in place. Do you have any other requests? Pity. Next, there was only the sound of, hoo-hoo, wind around, and there was no response from anyone at all. She left. Sun Xingfa asked a little cautiously. It should be gone. Su Sheng's nodded. Let's do as she said. Also, the secret realm of the team in the boneyard, we are ready to open it. Hearing this, Sun Xingfa was a little surprised. You mean, the one we bought before, the 20-person emperor-level secret realm? Good. Su Shengji's eyes showed anticipation. We spent a lot of money to buy this secret realm, but unfortunately we can't beat it all the time, and the time limit is coming. This time, we can let this genius help us. If we can pass the customs, we will produce something. We can give her a part. It is good. Sun Xingfa nodded solemnly. Then I started to look for candidates. The proportion of the number of tanks and healers is still the normal configuration of 20 people. Yes, you can have less output to make room for this genius. Su Sheng's nodded to confirm. At this time, Chen Yang and the two girls have already flown into the distance. The reason why he wants to make a deal with the other party. Naturally, it is for the better development of oneself. As for the reward for the other party, helping the other party to make a copy. Wouldn't you really think that Chen Yang would help the other party unconditionally copy the copy? First, now that he can turn on 4 halos at the same time, he can easily guarantee his own life safety. Sacred Hidden Aura plus Holy Hourglass plus Void Body. These 3 halos, stealth, invincibility, plus eliminate collision volume. No matter where he is, he can remain unharmed and undiscovered by anyone. The Void Body aura will make him and his summons become virtual, lose their collision volume, and be immune to physical damage. In this state, even if someone wears it through him, he can't find him. At that time, even if he entered the high-level dungeon, Chen Yang would not have to worry about safety issues as soon as the 3 god-level auras opened. Besides, it seems that he is helping the other party to make a copy. Actually, he has 2 purposes. First, he wanted to see how high-level and top-level combatants were fighting. Where is the difficulty of high-level copy? The second, and most crucial point. The people in Tianqilo can clear the monsters in front of them, and he can hide behind them and activate all kinds of corpse-touching halos. So, how much do you have to earn? For Chen Yang, although he is very cautious, since he has the ability, he will not be afraid to use it. The copy they will let me help with is definitely a high-quality copy. After one trip, I quietly harvested tens of billions, or even hundreds of billions of magic crystals. Is it not a problem? This is the core purpose of Chen Yang. With this opportunity, he can realize the freedom of magic crystals in advance, and he no longer has to work hard to brush low-level equipment like he is now. I really have to develop on my own step by step. Then you have to hit the year of the monkey and the month of the horse. Isn't it nice to graduate directly? Of course, the premise of all this is that Chen Yang can guarantee his own safety. But, when the time comes, I have to give them a weakening halo that suppresses monsters. I have to open invisibility, invincibility, and blur. This halo slot is not enough. You still have to continue to upgrade to unlock more slots. As for the 2 halos he showed in front of Su Sheng's and Sun Xingfa, although strong, but in Chen Yang's case, it's just for demonstration purposes. His real whole card, far more outrageous than this. Soon, Chen Yang found a level 16 gold level dungeon more than 10 kilometers away through God's vision, and entered it with 2 women. It is worth mentioning that, if the dungeon level is 3 or higher than the class transferee, then killing monsters will not have any experience. This point directly eliminates the possibility of big bosses bringing new people to upgrade. The low-level copy, the big guy can't get in. Advanced copy, newcomers have no experience in entering. This means, newcomers want to develop, most of them can only rely on self-improvement. Even if it is by Fume like Su Qimeng, her father can at most buy her some low-level good attribute equipment to make her transition more smoothly in the early stage. But it is impossible for her to reach the sky in one step. Anyway, Isabella, the voice you just changed is too royal, isn't it? Chen Yang asked curiously, who are you? It's my sister. Isabella covered her mouth and chuckled. If the master likes it, when I turn back to Dark Demon, I will change into a sister. Is this still possible? Chen Yang's eyes lit up. It sounds good, come back and try it. At this time, this succubus girl was wearing a dark fog suit, and the black silk fabric tightly wrapped her graceful curves, which was very eye-catching. And this seductive scene, naturally only Chen Yang and Sylvie can watch it. If he wants to take them out, Chen Yang will not let them dress so temptingly, cough. Next, Chen Yang picked a gold-level copy to play around. One after another, the gold-level dungeons were swiped by him. For him and the 2 girls, it doesn't take long to make a copy. On the contrary, it takes too much time to find a copy. That's why, Chen Yang needs to ask the people in Tianqi building to prepare daily dungeons secrets to refresh the map for him. With an accurate map, he can at least double the speed of his development. Noon, Chen Yang took the 2 girls home, and he still went out to buy some food. After eating, continued to brush the book. After reaching level 15, the experience required to level up increases again. Even Chen Yang has 10 times the experience aura. His upgrade speed finally slowed down, until the sun sets in the sky. When he walked out of the 8th gold level dungeon with the 2 girls, his level with the 2 girls finally rose to level 20. The 5th halo slot, unlocked. At the same time, Chen Yang can finally summon the 3rd girl. In just 2 days, he has risen to level 20. If this is spread, it will definitely shock the world. But for Chen Yang, he also dislikes being a little slow. If there is a copy distribution map, he can save more than half of the time. Certainly, before summoning the 3rd maiden, Chen Yang has something to deal with first. That is to sell equipment and pay the balance of the villa. He spent a day brushing today, and he harvested more than 700 pieces of platinum-level equipment in total, and he didn't look carefully at the attributes of many equipment. Also comes with 95 platinum-level skill books. The skill book may not be sold. After all, I don't know what girl I will summon in the future. I can keep it for them. Platinum-level skills are basically not weak. As for equipment, Chen Yang's biggest achievement today is that he finally got together a dark fog suit. A total of 11 pieces of equipment make up a set. In today's popular auctions, the sets that appear in sets can sell for at least 1 billion yuan. This thing is only more than 10 million, 20 million. That's because many people have no chance to complete the set. In other words, when I have the opportunity to complete the set, my level has already risen, and I don't need such a low-level set. Except for the suit. For the equipment of other occupations, he chose a set of good attributes to keep. The rest are going to be sold. Same as yesterday. He directly found the owner of Hongwu Mall, Hong Wuliang. The burly boss, who is more than 2 meters tall, never expected that Chen Yang would come to sell equipment so soon. And, I was once again shocked by Chen Yang's generosity. In total, more than 600 pieces of platinum-level equipment were sold. The total price is more than 92 million magic crystals. Thanks to Hong Wuliang himself being a strong man, he has accumulated a lot of wealth by playing dungeons and secret realms over the years. Otherwise, if you change to a small boss who usually only does business, you really can't eat so much platinum-level equipment. And the purchase of so many platinum-level equipment. Let Hong Wuliang rejoice. These are all low-level platinum-level equipment, which can be said to be priceless. With this batch of goods, he can hold a grand auction. Originally, there was an original skill book for the swordsman profession to be auctioned, but auctioning only one skill book is not suitable. Now that there are these platinum-level equipment, it is completely possible to get together. Hong Wuliang thought for a while. I gave Chen Yang an invitation in advance. I am in Hongwu Shopping Mall, and there will be an auction the day after tomorrow, most of which are low-level platinum-level equipment like you, for the newcomers and transferees. The finale is a swordsman's original skills book. If Brother Chen Yang is interested, can you come and have a look? Oh, Chen Yang's transaction was completed, and he wanted to take the magic crystal and leave. But when I heard the other party say this, I was a little surprised. Swordsman's original skill book. This thing is rare. Chen Yang thought about it. The original skill book is a skill book that has no level requirements, but can be continuously upgraded, and the drop rate is extremely low. In theory, such skills can be upgraded infinitely. To a certain extent, its power can even be comparable to the forbidden spell. Although, Chen Yang doesn't yet have a girl who is a swordsman. However, it does not prevent him from buying this skill book first. Of course, this source skill book will definitely attract many bigwigs to come, and the price may be extremely expensive. It's far from even a villa. And it is also the reason why Chen Yang wants to realize financial freedom as soon as possible. If there is no magic crystal, he will not be able to buy anything he wants to buy, which is too embarrassing. Okay, I'll be there when the time comes. After Chen Yang nodded to Hong Wuliang, he turned and left the mall. Back to the rented home. He took Sylvie and Isabella with him and flew to Xian Villa in a stealthy state. After paying the balance, he plans to stay here tonight. In addition, he will perform the third summoning ceremony here. Zhongnan City, Xian Villa. This is a beautiful villa complex. In one of the lakeside villas, the surrounding greenery and even a bamboo forest were rustled by the evening breeze. This is the villa. The total price was 78 million magic crystals. Chen Yang paid a 5% deposit in advance. Now that the balance was paid, he moved in with Sylvie and Isabella. The villa here is different from the situation before Chen Yang crossed. Not only is the environment beautiful, there is even a shielding enchantment set up by the masters. Living in this villa, people outside cannot detect the situation in the villa through some technical means, including the naked eye. All will be blocked by the enchantment. If the barrier is touched or broken, an alarm will be issued to remind the owner. For Chen Yang, even if a dozen or so girls are summoned and raised here in the future, they are not afraid of being discovered. As for the number of girls who were summoned, when there were more rooms than this villa. When that happens, change the place. A total of 12 rooms. You two choose a room for yourself. Chen Yang told the two women. Great. Seeing that she had a big house to live in, Sylvie's eyes lit up immediately. Jumping up and down the villa, trying to find a room that I like the most. As for Isabella, he followed Chen Yang with a pair of beautiful eyes on him. I have to see where your room is, so I'll pick the one next door. Chen Yang agreed immediately. Why refuse this kind of thing? But at present, he is not in a hurry to choose a room, but is in the hall of the villa, preparing to summon his third girl. The succubus girl stood behind him with great interest, watching his movements. Following Chen Yang's summoning order. Just on the ground of the villa hall, a white streamer was released, forming mysterious characters, and then turned into a mysterious formation, blooming a bright silver-white streamer. A graceful figure with perfect curves gradually condensed and formed in the array. A long snow-white hair floated up. The girl was wearing a white satin ribbon robe, her slender waist was tightly bound by a belt, and it was too full to hold. Her facial features are delicate, but her expression is indifferent. He held a long sword with a scabbard in his hand and carried it behind him. After this girl was summoned, he took a quick look at his surroundings. And then, stunned. White hair, blue eyes, it's similar to Sylvie, but a lot taller than that girl. It's just that this expression is too cold, isn't it? And, she is a swordsman. Chen Yang's eyes lit up. Take a quick look at its properties. Dragon girl, Ao Qingyu. Age, height, 175 centimeters. Weight, 48 kilograms. Bust, D. Leg length. Sure enough, this height was a full 10 centimeters taller than that girl Sylvie, and even taller than Isabella. Especially the long legs. That body proportion is perfect. Even the models in the real Blue Star are completely incomparable to her. And her face, although her expression is indifferent, her facial features are exquisite and perfect, and even the most critical person can't find the slightest flaw. This is Dragon Girl. Chen Yang can't wait to check out her combat attributes. Dragon Girl, Ao Qingyu. Current level, 1. Power, 197. Physical, 225. Agility, 209. Spirit, 211. Talent, Shenlong Bloodline SSS level. You can meditate and practice, absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, and improve your own attributes. There is no limit. Bloodline talent, transforming into a dragon. Dragon transformation. Transform into the body of a dragon. All attributes are increased by 10 times, and new skills in the form of a dragon are obtained. Dragon form lasts for 300 seconds, will increase with level up with a 24-hour cooldown. Skill 1. Use the sword as a shield. While holding the sword, you can freely block any attack, reducing the damage of the attack by 80%. No cooling. Skill 2. Moonlight Sword Chi. Swing the long sword and release 5 sword chi. Each sword chi causes a lot of physical damage to the target. Cooldown for 5 seconds. SSS level, Shenlong Blood Talent. The start is about 200 points of all attributes, 10 times more than others. This is because of her talent, the blood of the dragon, which allows her to meditate and improve her attributes. No matter what circumstances she was in before being summoned, she can meditate and cultivate to improve her attributes. This talent makes her initial attribute much higher than other girls when she is summoned. And her ultimate move can actually transform into a dragon and obtain a new skill in the form of a dragon. Is this too fierce? But I haven't waited for Chen Yang to study and understand her attributes. The dragon girl named Ao Qingyu frowned and asked, "Where is this?" The voice was crisp and cold. As soon as you speak, it seems to fill the surrounding with cold air. This is Blue Star. Chen Yang looked at her and said lightly, "You should have heard the system prompt and should understand your current situation." "Yes, I know, I was called." Ao Qingyu nodded slightly and looked at Chen Yang. "It's just that the one who summoned me was actually a human race." In her eyes, Ji Yu Jing has no waves, as if nothing in the world can make her interested. It is said that here, as long as you kill monsters, you can level up and become stronger. Ao Qingyu looked at Chen Yang with clear eyes. "Now, take me to find the monster." Question mark. Chen Yang looked confused. He felt pretty good about summoning a dragon girl. But he never expected it. This girl seems to be a leveling madman. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.